All right, everybody. Welcome in to the DNVR Rapids Postgame show presented by the homies at Vodka TV. All I can do is laugh. I can only laugh because I would rather not be crying right now. I'm your host, Mitchell Carroll, a.k.a. Myrtle Sadface tonight, and I'm joined by the rest of the DNVR Rapids gang. Of course, superist producer Yahya, who actually wrote I'm surprised you wrote Yaslina in there. Where's the levels at right now?
Dude, I'm complete. I don't want to get into it.
All right,
Hi guys, how you guys doing?
I'll introduce the creator of the greatest Rapids content in history, the poster from today's game, which sadly we're going to have to burn and delete the files and never show him again. We got downtown Duane Brown in the house. What's up, dude?
What's up? I am like everybody else, somewhere bordering between rage and disappointment. So,
I have
what a game! What a game to dissect! What a game!
There's like 4 things you can be mad at, besides the other 40 that you can be mad at. Let's see. You don't score 3 goals yet again. Still haven't done that since the first home game of the season.
I don't think that matters at all. Three goals don't mean anything.
Still don't win on the road. I mean, it does. You're up.
It doesn't.
It does. You scored in the 3rd minute and then had a whole half with man advantage. Yes, it matters.
You don't need 3 goals to win a title. You just need a win.
Title? Who said title?
Yeah. No, exactly.
Title?
All you need is to win. It doesn't matter how many goals you make. It doesn't matter. They won 3-0 against Atlanta. Big whoop.
Yeah. Let me get this point through. Jesus H. Okay. You lose on the road again. You give up a goal right before half again. Just listless play, unmotivated. I don't think they showed a sense of urgency until about the 82nd minute. I think is when I sent the tweet saying like, "Hey, look, this is the urgency you need to win." Just nonstop complaining to the refs, totally focused on the ref instead of the game. I think probably 75% of the time. I think this is a look in the mirror moment. Duane, I think who is there any one person to put this on? Is it a group effort? Is it on Frazier? Where's your head at with this one, and where to start with the discussion?
It's a mental game again. I mean, that goal from the ball that was marked 20 yards behind a foul that was not a foul. That to me was the end of the game. It was just and we've talked about it so many times. It was just a complete mental whipping by Seattle. Like they knew that the Rapids were going to do the usual chirping at the referee, who astoundingly could we have found a worse referee than Ted Uncle? Maybe a discussion for later or another podcast. But wow, I mean, that guy brought his A game. F you, Ted Uncle. You got nothing on this
man. Game. Who would have thought we'd sit here missing Ted Uncle? I miss Ted Uncle. I miss Uncle Ted.
I know.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it was just everybody. Given we know it wasn't a foul. It was ridiculous that it was allowed to be spotted that far behind.
Did you like how
when you already knew the refereeing was terrible, like you can't, like you said, you can't spend 75% of the game focused on the referees. Let me and the rest of the fans from both teams focus 75% of the game on the referees, because I'm pretty sure both teams' supporters groups were pissed tonight.
Do you like how in like the 95th minute they cared about where the free kick was taken from?
Oh gosh, yes.
Did you see that? I was I like started to type out my feelings and it was just like 144 characters of cuss words straight. So I thought it was better to just not say.
Yeah.
Check our private chat on
Private chat.
Private chat.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's more for
there you
yeah.
go.
It's not a big issue. It's just
I
just so we know.
posted the graphic on the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Man, good job.
It's
Yeah.
nothing, yeah.
I had someone get mad at me because they said that I wasn't because I said it wasn't a bad call or something. And what I said was, who cares if it was a bad call? Who cares if they kicked it from 20 yards away? Why are you not paying attention and letting that play happen? To me, that was the error, right? Like, who cares where they kicked it from? Who cares if it was a bad call? They kicked the ball far to Morris, and instead of like being like, oh, hey, we should probably go do that, they gave up a goal right before half again. I mean, am I crazy? I feel like
No,
everyone's focused on the wrong part of that whole play.
No, I think the error wasn't even allowing the goal because I thought it was in right position. I thought it was just a good goal and a good awareness from Seattle. The whole problem on that whole thing was literally that you couldn't respond at all. You couldn't respond with pressure. You couldn't respond any way at all. You couldn't respond with possession. That was the error with that goal. The goal had nothing to do. That was a good goal from Seattle. I don't care if you think it was a bad placement of the ball. If it was a bad call, it happens every game. Literally every game. The refs are usually really bad in every game. You'll never get a good reffing performance for the most part. So it had nothing to do with the ref, had nothing to do with the spot, and I had no problem with that goal at all. I really did it. And I tweeted it out, whether if it was the right call or the wrong call. It doesn't matter because the Rapids are now tied. They've had a bad half, and now it's time to nut up or shut up. And they shut up with nothing to show for it. The call was not bad at all.
Go ahead and pull up Dev Machine, our homie Devin, the hot dog wonder kid of Commerce City. He says Seattle made the kids look lost at the end. That may be the saddest takeaway. Not only did those two look lost, and although I don't think they looked terrible, I think they looked their age. Max, I think, when it was like, oh man, we need to score, he did like the triple step over and then just got freaking brick walled like a too small running back going against like a all-pro linebacker. Just got absolutely stuffed. That to me was like the game in a nutshell was that play where it's like, oh, look at us. Ha-ha. Oh, wait, actually we just got rocked.
So I'm going to give me a quick minute because I'm going to go off for like a minute.
Okay, everyone clear out space. It's Yasumina time, baby. Light the fire. Let's go.
I am extremely pissed because this team was bad. You guys are going to agree with me, and that's fine. I know you guys are. There was not a single bright spot in this game to me. I heard
disagree.
Barrios. And it's fine. You guys will, and I'll give you my counter argument to that.
You know, let them go. Clear it out. We're cleared out.
But
that's all you do. That's football.
There was absolutely nothing good about this game for the Rapids. Nothing. That goal was not even good. I saw it 3 times. It was a great pass from Rubio. And Roldan took the wrong angle. If he would have taken the right angle, he would have blocked that and it wouldn't have gone across the line. I saw it 3 times, and I'm convinced of that. I could be wrong, and I could just be super negative. But this team was bad. The midfield was non-existent. The defense was on its back heels constantly. Barrios might have gotten past like 3-4 guys, but did nothing with the ball after he did. Constantly. Lewis took shots that he shouldn't have, and then when he should have taken shots, he didn't. Rubio was nowhere to be seen. And that's maybe not his fault, but it was still bad.
I'll speak to that, but keep going.
Yeah, but it was still bad, even if it wasn't his fault, because the ball wasn't going to him. I thought there was nothing that you could there was nothing good about this game. There was like Yarby was bad too, and I love Yarby. He had even that ball that went to him, and it just kind of like almost went.
Oh, Morris, he almost let a squeaker through the 5-hole, dude.
It was so bad. Like there's nothing. Like this game gave me ulcers. Like it was bad. It was like the epitome of just being pissed for no reason. And I don't blame the refs. I don't blame Seattle. I blame the Rapids. I blame everybody on this team for not stepping up when you had to do. I blame Rubio, even if he was doing the right things. I blame him for not being the leader that was needed at the time in that midfield that had a young Priso and Acosta that hasn't been here that long. Lawless, I thought, was good, but not good enough communicating and stepping up to that leadership role when Danny wasn't here. I even blame Danny Wilson for getting that stupid yellow last week and putting his team in a hole where you had to start Vazquez. Like, I'm just pissed at everybody from the bench to the kids to everybody to the trainers. I'm just so mad, and I'm a victim of the moment, and I'm sorry, but I'm just so pissed because it was such a bad game. You had everything at your disposal, and you did absolutely nothing with it, nothing. And it makes me so mad because you have the talent, and you just let Seattle run you over by being down Diaz, Paulo, and you still were down 10 men, and you couldn't do absolutely nothing. It just pisses me off. I'm just like, I'm visibly upset.
Yeah.
You can go take over. I'm done. I'm done ranting. You're gonna go.
Yeah. How do you really feel?
You can go ahead.
No. Look, you're right. You're right.
No. And now I just had to get that off my chest, even though I'm completely.
That's good.
Completely wrong and everything. I've been
pull up that Halle Boy comment right there. That's hilarious. It's bad when even Yaselina can't find positive points. And you know what? I'm usually the guy that's like, oh, okay, well, there was this. Like the Rapids were doing this, which is a nice trend to see. The Rapids, they were in possession, they held possession this way, or there was this player was able to find space here, or I don't think there were many positives. I think Barrios's work rate was great, but I don't think there was much. I don't think he gets a good game score. Rubio was spending his whole time. I think he saw what a disaster the midfield was between Priso or Max paired with Acosta, and he was spending his whole time as a holding player. And when he's one of the leading goal scorers in the entire MLS, just decides to go be a holding midfielder because the whole team is in meltdown mode. It's over right there. They were completely thrown off their game. Frazier had zero control of the structure, of the flow of play, of who was supposed to do what. I don't have anything. I have nothing good. I liked Lewis's goal, but that was 2.5 hours ago. And then it was misery.
And I even think that goal was super lucky, except for that pass.
Well, it was a gorgeous pass. It was a gorgeous goal too. I mean, the keeper took a terrible line, but it was the whole play was nice. It was beautiful. It was a great start.
I thought it was a heads up goal by Lewis. Like this is the second time he's kind of worked a goalkeeper with what I would call a funny goal, where he blooped it over, last time. And then this time he gets a great pass, was running out of room, and was still able to cut that angle and get it in. And dude, when that happened, I super enjoyed it. And you know what? I bet you really enjoyed it too. I bet that you didn't go, oh, that goal was sucky. I bet everybody, we were all enjoying it. It was right up front, and we finally see the Rapids come out with a goal early. It was great, and it was exciting, and I thought it was just kind of a fun goal to see. So I didn't think it was lucky or fluky. I thought that he was running out of space, and he put it where it needed to be. Outside of that, I think I agree with everything that Yahir said.
Again, and I'm gonna argue that I think that goal, I saw it 3 times. I think Lewis did the right thing. I'm not saying Lewis did anything wrong. I'm not saying that. I thought Barrios' pass was amazing. I thought Lewis, in that one play specifically, did everything he could and did everything right. I just really think that Roldan could have done more, and if he did that extra inch or that extra angle, he would have gotten that goal. And that's where the luck, I think, comes in with that mistake.
Yeah, but that's scoring goals in soccer.
Yeah,
that's soccer.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It feels lucky, especially it feels lucky after you see the whole game. It doesn't.
If Yarby's arm was 1 inch longer, he would have blocked the PK. It's like that's a what if
you can't go down that rabbit hole.
That's
pull
a
up
weird.
This last
that's
Holly
a weird
Boy
way
to
judge a goal.
I judge it based off the whole game and how they performed after the whole game, and it's just was it actually a good goal, or was it more you didn't just break right?
It was a good goal. Rubio split the back line. He got it up to Bars, who made a great pass, running out of room. Lewis still put it in the goal. It was a good goal.
It was a very good goal.
Counted.
But that being said, you still need to finish 87 more minutes of quality. The Rapids have not shut out a team on the road this season. So all of a sudden you go up 1-0. They don't do anything on the road. They're terrible on the road. they have a lead, right? They have a lead. They played like they had a 4-goal lead. How do you go up 1-0 after never getting a shutout on the road this season, of just bad showing after bad showing after bad showing on the road? And your response is to play like you have a 5-goal lead. It's like they're like, oh, we got this one. Sweet. We're up 1-0. Right? And then cool, you give up the goal again, devastatingly right before half. And like, I don't even want – I mean, we can get into that discussion if the commenters are calling for it or whatever, but like, whatever. The call was the call. Then all of a sudden you get gift wrapped. It's a gift wrap. You have Rowe being just a complete idiot, getting a red card, probably a pretty soft red card, but you're handed this chance and you still played like you had a 4-goal lead. There was just zero urgency. And I asked you to bring up that Holly Boy one because I don't think having Price or Wilson fixes that. I don't see a world where Price or Wilson or both are playing in this game and you get a different result. I don't see it. I don't see how. There's something missing there. And I thought Joseph said it best on Twitter when he was like, we traded out, we lost Trusty and we traded out Mac. Where's the start? Where's the quality starter to replace those?
I'm still okay with that Mac trade.
Oh, of course. But where's the trade after that?
But I still think Prizo is better than Mac for the Rapids.
Yeah, not if you want to make the playoffs.
True.
Mac did not have a good game tonight. Like
I thought
I was looking at their own supporters group, like complaining about Mac being lackluster, and I'm like, yes, I know. And I mean, did Prizo like burn the field down, light on fire? No, but
I think he was very good.
I thought he was okay, you know.
He couldn't keep the ball for sure.
He couldn't keep the ball. You saw it in the first minute before they gave up that corner to Seattle. He just like the ball was at his feet and he just kind of had no idea what to do with it, and he just let it keep rolling right to a Seattle player, and it turned into a corner for them. And I mean, it didn't turn into anything. But look, I'm not trying to say that Priso's not a good piece. I love the trade. I love getting Priso. I love getting the pick. I love getting the roster slot. I love getting the GAM. I thought it was a great trade. Priso's not ready to lead a team that needs to win. It is in desperation mode. That it is time to win. You have to win to make the playoffs at this point. You can't skate by on 1 point, 1 point, 0 points, 1 point. You're not going to, like, this team was the 1 seed last season. And granted, it came on decision day. It's not like they dominated the season, but who cares? You had a 1 seed season last season. And now you're hoping that Max, Priso, Gus, like, you need to bring players in. And if it's not this week, you're going to go get smoked at Red Bulls. I don't care how good they are. I just can't. Someone talk me off a ledge here? Someone? Anyone? Hello? Bueller? Joseph nailed it with that. Oh my God. Poor Yahya.
I think, I'm pissed because I'm pissed, and I can't blame Priso. He's a kid. He's 18 years old. He's a professional. He could have done better. Of course, they all could have, but he couldn't control the ball. Acosta is a grizzled veteran. He couldn't control the ball. They were okay on defense. They did what they had to do. I thought the defense kept them afloat for the first 44 minutes until that last goal. That defense was a stop.
I thought the defense in the first half was good.
They were
exactly
until they got scored on. I thought they were very good.
Yeah, they were. The offense couldn't get 4 passes in a row. There was just nothing going on. There's just nothing. And like maybe Price fixes that,
but Mac is not as good as Mac right now. Mac sucks right now. Mac hasn't been good for a while.
Yeah,
I would have taken Mac in this game in a heartbeat over Priso. In this game,
I thought they played exactly the same. I thought if you interchanged to Mac in his
Priso didn't know where to be.
Priso,
He didn't know where to
He
be.
was
Mac
bad.
didn't know where to be. Mac doesn't want to be. Yeah.
I thought they were both just as bad, like as average. Like,
I think Krizo had an average night and Mac had a bad night tonight. So
The Rapids need a blessing. Am I right?
we need some blessings.
We need
The Rapids
blessings.
need a exorcist.
Blessings.
Man. They need something. They need something that's gonna just kick them in the ass. I don't know what to like. I just don't know what to feel. Like I don't like. We talked about this before going on air, and as pessimist and as pissed and as mad as I am, there's still hope in my opinion.
He still thinks they're going to playoffs.
I do believe they're going to the playoffs. Like,
Empty tank. Are you at the gas station filling up your tank right now? Like, what is this?
The thing is, they got their ass whipped. But like statistically, everybody lost except for Seattle, and Portland's still playing.
Oh my god!
But like that's what I'm saying. Like they were helped out by other teams being bad. They were helped out.
You're right.
That's my thing. It has nothing to do with what the Rapids did, what Seattle did. They were helped out. They were given. They were given another chance, like they've been given week after week, and it pisses me off that I'm still hopeful because there's still a chance. But it just pisses me off that they can't capitalize on any opportunity during the game, during the season, during the week, during the opponent. They were ready to go. They were about to do it. They were up a man. They were down their superstars, and you couldn't do it. You let damn Jordan Morrison take over. You let Ariaga become a stud in front of your eyes, and you still couldn't do it. Like, what the hell is wrong with this team?
We're going to get into what's wrong with this team.
Agreed,
right after we talk about the homies at Evoca TV.
How do we watch this team and
you watch
them?
This team. You watch this team that Yahya still believes in by signing up at Evoca TV. Whole new way for sports programming delivered to you. They have altitude. You don't have to worry about this whole back and forth nonsense with these local cable providers. It's not cable. You don't got to deal with it. Cable's the worst. Dealing with cable is the worst. The customer service is terrible. They might show up between 2 a.m. and 10 p.m. someday this week. It's terrible. You don't want that. You want altitude. You want AT&T Sportsnet. You want sports channels, and you want to even be able to record those games and watch them again, because I know Yahya is going to watch this game again tomorrow and be just as sad. And you can do that thanks to Evoca TV. It's a whole new way to do it. And thanks to their partnership with us, you can get $10 off your first 3 months by going to evoca.tv/DNVR. You get $10 off for 3 months. It also locks in your price for 2 years. It's the best way to do it. Yahya, you can see the glow from Yaya's Evoca TV on his beautiful face right now. It's
watching the Avalanche parade right now, and I'm just like, when?
Good times, baby.
When?
That's right. We all should watch the Avs parade. Look, just go to evoca.tv/DNVR, enter promo code DNVR. You'll get that. No contracts, no hidden fees. Thank you, Evoca TV, for being the presenting sponsor of the DNVR Rapids podcast. Okay. Any other notes you want to get into that? Nope. Cool. Okay, moving on.
You gotta stop me, man, because I will go on for like 3 hours about the same thing over and over again.
August 2nd. So there's a little bit of a break here. August 2nd at New York Red Bulls. Red Bulls aren't great, but neither are the Rapids. And they don't win on the road. So maybe a point. Maybe. Home to Minnesota. That was a game everyone thought they would win on the road. Everyone was like, oh, here we go. We got our first road win. That was 3 months ago. So, but the Rapids are good at home. Maybe that's a win. Crew at home. Cucho is coming to end people's lives. Cucho is a freaking machine.
I picked him up in my fantasy team, so let's go.
Dude, Cucho's so sick. Crew is so sick. But
I'm trying to save my season with Cucho on the line.
Yeah, like you need a win against Cucho. No thanks. At Vancouver, who is in the exact same spot as the Pids, needing every possible point you can get. Road game, long trip, like they just had to the Pacific Northwest. Not great. Home to Houston, one of those teams, again, in the Rapids position. And then after that, just a 3-game road trip in the Eastern time zone at Philadelphia, one of the best teams in the MLS, at Nashville, a team that punked you at home, at DC, who does suck. Maybe you get your first win of the season at the end of a 3-game East Coast road trip. And then we're in December. If you had told me, I don't know, 2 months ago that you would have a Red Bulls, Minnesota, Columbus, Vancouver, Houston stretch, I'd be like, oh, sick. They're going to cement a playoff spot right there. Not like be fighting for it. I'd be like, perfect. Cement it in. That stretch now terrifies me because it's desperate teams versus desperate teams. And you know what the Rapids just did as a desperate team? Threw up the biggest L you could ever possibly throw up. It is the most Rapids game ever. And now you have to fight these teams that are in the same position as you, and it scares the hell out of me, Duane. It scares me. I'm scared.
It does. Some of the games scare me, not all of them.
Not all of them.
So here's my hot take. The first away win will be in New York.
Whoa!
On August 2nd. The Rapids will beat New York in New York on August 2nd.
Dude, if
the Rapids will also beat Minnesota at home.
So we're talking 6 points in a row.
So we're talking a streak of 2.
That's technically a streak.
Yes, and then we will not win against Columbus.
Yeah, Cucho, man. Cucho's scary, bro. I love
and
Cucho.
Then,
I'm so in on Cucho.
But we'll still be in good spirit. The Yasselina will still be full and flying and just fluffy and beautiful and happy. And then we will lose to Vancouver, who is a very, very beatable team. Because that's
you know how annoyed I am that's a game we have to go win. I'm so annoyed already. I'm pre-annoyed that we're gonna have to go to Vancouver desperately needing a win, and we're gonna lose to a team that stinks. They stink. They're not good.
We will, but we are gonna beat New York in New York.
I believe that. Because every time we reach the absolute basement, we've been doing this since February. Every time we're in the absolute basement, within 2 weeks, we're like, let's go, playoffs, it's on, we're back, let's go.
I wish I was in a basement, man. I'm in a 7-foot casket right now underneath the ground. Like, that's how bad it is. Like, I'm so pissed I have hope. I'm so mad that I have hope.
I know.
Like, I'm the same way. Like, I'm mad that they're not completely out of it. I'm pissed that everybody lost. And if they would have won today against Seattle, they'd be tied for 8th with the Galaxy as the Galaxy play tomorrow against Atlanta with 27 points, man. Like, they were right there. They had it. They felt it. They caressed it, man. They smelled it. And they couldn't take it. And it makes them so
And then
pissed.
they threw it in the trash.
Honestly, I think that's the scariest part. Is the context of this game is right. You go to Seattle, you're not you need a win, but okay, cool. You didn't if you told me in a nutshell when Seattle lost, okay, that's it's not the end of the world. But to get a goal to basically start the game 1-0, right? You basically played an entire game after going up 1-0. You were spotted a goal and given an extra man for half of that. And you do not show any fight to win that game. 0 fight. It's as rock bottom as we have seen this season. I don't think there's been a lower moment. Has there been a lower moment?
Than today?
Maybe the first 20 minutes against Nashville. Maybe
Nashville. Yeah,
only one I can think about really.
Nashville was the one that came to mind.
I mean, Austin was pretty bad too. That was a pretty low moment. They were up 2-0 and they still lost.
Fair, that's true.
It feels like every time you think this team hits rock bottom, they're like, "Oh, bro, don't worry, we can dig. We have plenty of shovels and plenty of labor to get lower." It just makes me mad. I do believe in this team, man. Unfortunately, I believe in this team. I believe in the staff. I believe in everything they represent. So I still have hope to make the playoffs. Unfortunately, I do this to myself week after week. I still think they can make the playoffs, but it's so disappointing.
Looks like Austin just pulled out the 3-2 win, so that's good.
Who are they playing?
They're
playing.
That's sick. Cool. Good for Austin. Thanks.
Who are they playing against? They're playing against Dallas. No, who the hell are they playing? I'm so confused. I'll look it up.
Oh, Joseph. Okay, never mind. I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah, Joseph is referring to 3-2 Austin. That is the worst game. That's probably the worst.
I was like, I think they just tied. I don't know what's going on. Really?
I'm not even looking at MLS scoreboard.
I'm like, yeah, they play tomorrow too, and I was just like, what's going on?
That's so funny.
I was scoreboard watching the whole day today, and I'm mad. I'm really mad.
I wanted to watch soccer all day, and nothing even started until 5. I was pissed. I don't want to watch I don't want to watch all these friendlies. It's like
so.
The women's
Portland beat San Jose. By the way, I don't know if you said that already, but
they're in 7th right now with 30 points.
So we were hoping for a tie there.
Portland gave up 7 goals at home this season, and they're well ahead of the Rapids.
Yeah,
they're 6 points, 4 points ahead, 6 points ahead, 2 matches. It feels like well ahead because of how the Rapids played, but they're not that. It sucks, man. The Rapids should be Portland. The Rapids should be where Nashville is in the 7th or 8th spot. You look back at every opportunity they just left on the floor. They should be a top 4 team in the MLS in the West.
They didn't produce opportunities.
No, and I'm not talking about this game. I'm talking just about in general. I'm talking about like if you look at the season, man.
I mean, I think it starts with that Houston. I think it starts with that Houston game, man.
Exactly.
It starts with them giving up that win in Houston. That's like
it was bad.
That since then, anything good has just like completely sucked. With moments of home brilliance, it's just like I just
really need a hug. It sounds so dumb. I just need a hug. I want to hug somebody. I'm
gonna load up FIFA and beat the Sounders like 20-0 right now.
At this point, that won't even help me, and it usually does.
You need to come into the building on Monday. I'll give you a hug before you go off on vacation.
Yeah, bud.
So
real quick. I just thought of one positive from all of today.
What?
That graphic Duane did for us.
Yo, shout out downtown Duane.
Shout out Duane, man. Mr. Duane Brown over here producing fire when the team
Connor
is on fire.
Was dope. I know, like the Rapids Com guys all loved it. Someone called it the best piece of Rapids content besides the Tim Howard in the strip club video. Which, like, to be fair,
which was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. So
everyone's playing for second place after that.
I love that. I absolutely love that.
It was great.
That graphic, dude. You can't.
I want to shout out Duane. I want to shout out Yahya. Rapids beat right now. We're on fire. Too bad the team isn't giving us anything to work with at all.
Joseph, bring in the love.
Dude, that might have been the issue. The graphic was too good that the team just like, we can't compete with this today.
Don't you put that on me.
I'm starting to blame Duane for today.
Don't you put that on me.
Mitch,
I'm already thinking of what I'm going to do for the New York game, so don't do that.
Mitch, the question, how do you feel, man? I want to hear your rant. Who do you think was a positive? Well, either one of you. Either one of you. Give me a positive. I have nothing.
I thought the first half defense really was pretty strong.
Me too.
Coming from my viewpoint,
me too. I knew.
I felt like there was a lot of. I felt like there was a lot of moments where things were crumbling and the defense showed up, and so the first half I was really encouraged by that. Of course, right at the end of the half, as we do, things fell apart. But there were 44 minutes before that where we played pretty solid defense, in my opinion. So, I mean, and hey, who the hell am I? Like, what's my opinion? I just make things look cool. You just make cool graphics. But, watching it, I did think that the defense was strong. And I was excited, man. Like I still think that goal was good too by Lewis. We can disagree on that, and that's all good. I'll still give you a hug. You should come in on Monday, and we'll hug it out. But I still think that was a good goal. I was encouraged by the defense, and I felt really good. I was bummed out that they scored an equalizer there at the end. But coming into the second, I was like, okay, if we come out like we did in the first half, we can still get this. Then we go up a man, and I was super pumped. I was like, we got this. Like, we're going to get the 3 points on this one. And then after that, like, I was just like, what is going on right now? I felt like everyone just turned their brains off and just forgot how to play soccer. So I did feel that the first half was decent. Like, I did, and I still feel that way. I thought we looked okay in the first half, and we looked like a team in the first half that was gonna win. And that was where I was feeling, and I was excited about it. I was happy to finally be up early, which is what we needed to win. I mean, even Joseph had said that earlier on Twitter, like we got to strike first, and it's got to be early. And then it happened, and I was like, yes, like we are on the right track. And then we all got kicked in the junk in the second half. But I don't have too many positives or any positives from the second half, but the first half, I did feel good, man. Like I felt good going into it. And I hate that late goal that we keep giving up, which again, I think is mental. And I don't know if it's because we got young players or if that's a leadership thing or a lack of leadership thing, or if that's a Robin Fraser thing. Like, I don't know what that is because I'm not on the team and I'm not in that clubhouse and I don't know what it is. So I can't speak to that, but I did feel good up until that moment. And I really thought we had this one. The second half, totally different story. So I don't know, but I did think that there were positives in the first half. I felt real good about it. And I still feel real good about Priso. I think the future is so bright with him, and he's played 2 games, not even full games. So I'm excited about that. I know the argument is he's not the one we needed to get to the playoffs right now. And I don't disagree with that. Like he hasn't been that superstar, but he also hasn't played a full game. He's only been here for like a week and a half. So I get that. I agree with everybody on that. And maybe that is, that's a very rare negative from me on Porig. Because like I am like a huge Porig fan. I think that guy is a wizard with what he's done, given what he's given to work with, from backing and support from the owners and all of that. So I don't know, maybe he should have made another move. I don't know I'm still not sold on the Zardes move, and maybe that's on him. I don't know. Maybe it's on Zardes, but I did feel good in the first half. And I think there are some positives. It just started raining and I'm outside. So if I start running inside, I'll be back in a second. But yeah, of course it's going to rain when I'm out here.
Any positives, my guy?
No, there's not. And here's what I'll say about this. You've used this quote, and it's a fantastic quote. It's from our good friend AJ Hafley of DNVR Avalanche, and he says, "When a team shows you who they are, believe them." And what I have seen from this team this season is that when times get tough, they pack up and fold. And tonight was a perfect night to be like, you know what, this is the team we want to be. We're gonna get this win. And they showed everything wrong. They played terribly. There was no communication. There was very little forward movement. There was very little effort. There was very little togetherness. There was very little fight There was a lot of finger pointing. There was a lot of screaming at each other. There was a lot of screaming at the ref. There's just too much focus on things that don't lead to winning. And that is habitual. And, I felt early in the season there was a lot of good things to point at in terms of habits. And soccer is a game of habits. And can your team do the right thing enough times that you see that you learn things about yourself by successfully doing things over and over? And you saw it on the wings, you saw it from that back line, and at times you saw it in the midfield, but you just haven't seen it for too long when it matters most. They're now 1-3 when up a man this season. They've lost 3 times up a man. And that's unacceptable. And that's I don't know what the move is. Yeah, I'd love to see them go get a starting mid to play those pre-zone max minutes. I'd love that. Like, I'd love to go get another center back. Does that make this team want to fight for each other? Does that make this team want to make the right plays, make winning plays, focus on winning, focus on making the right play after the right play after the right play, and holding each other accountable and holding themselves accountable instead of pointing the blame and screaming and being angry? I don't know if the fight is there. I don't know if the togetherness is there, and I don't know what the fix is. I would love to say Price gets back from his calf injury. This team stops accumulating yellows like freaking Pokemon training cards. And it's just, I'd love to say that fixes it, but you have to believe a team when they show you who they are. And this team can't put it together when they need to. So, I'd love to say that you're right. They're going to come back with a 2-game win streak. I don't know. I'd love to see it. Show me it. Like, show me it, because you have it. And yeah. I think you're right to have hope. I think there's a lot of talent on this team. I think there's a lot of young guys. I think there's a lot of promise. I think the next 2 to 4 years are going to be really good for the Rapids. But I think right now is not very good for the Rapids. And I hope Duane's computer is okay.
Yeah, that's so he could just do what he had to do.
I lied. They have 2 wins while they're up a man. Thank you, Joseph. I think the point remains.
Did you feel any excitement when Seattle tied the game?
What do you mean?
I felt a little excited when Seattle tied the game.
You felt excited?
Yes.
No. In about the 40th minute, I turned to my dog who was sitting next to me. And
I just found that hilarious.
Yeah. Leslie Nope, the greatest dog. She's sitting next to me, and I go, "Hey, the Rapids are going to blow this." And sure enough, in the 42nd minute, they equalized the game. And the Rapids, instead of being up 1-0 and playing really staunch defense against a heavy attack and pulling out the half and going into the locker room up 1-0 and able to make plans that way, again, have no time to formulate a real counter when the game is stopped and you're inside and you can talk it out and work it out and figure it out. And again, they don't do it. It's just it's consistent as gravity, man. I don't know, this is who this team is. This is a team who is going to keep getting close enough to make it interesting in terms of points and standings, and is going to continuously shoot themselves in the foot. I don't prove me wrong, please. I'm begging, please prove me wrong, please.
That's why I was a little excited, because I'm like, okay, now they've tied it up. There's a chance that they can prove to us that they've changed. We've seen it in the last 3 weeks, the last couple of weeks. They came back 2-0 against Real Salt Lake, and they're like, okay, they're starting to figure something out. They came back against Orlando and tied it up. We're like, okay, there's something brewing. And then last week, they came out and demolished the Galaxy. And you're like, okay, there's something here. They're changing up something that you're getting a little excited about. And when I saw that goal, I'm like, okay, now you can shut us all up that you haven't won a game when you've conceded a goal, that you haven't been able to win a goal, you haven't been able to win away. You can knock 2 boogeymen out of the way right now. And
I want to know who in that locker room is pissed right now, and I want to know why they're pissed. I want to know if that team is pissed because they're pissed that someone else didn't do something, or they're pissed that someone didn't hold up their end of the bargain, or if they're pissed at themselves for not making the right pass, or for not being the conduit for successful actions on the field. If they're pissed because this team can't communicate, right? Like, are you pissed for the right reasons? Are you motivated for the right reasons to go to New York, to travel from one corner of the country to another, away from the dick, and find success when you absolutely need it? There is 2.5 months left in the season. You have 13 games. There's 5, maybe 6 teams now that you have to worry about taking that last playoff spot. And I think there's too many holes in the dam. I don't think the Rapids have enough fingers to plug them all at this point. I think that's where we're at. I think no matter what Band-Aids you put on, it's just not going to stop the bleeding. I just don't think there's enough Band-Aids available to stop the bleeding. And
go ahead. Yeah.
I just think I think you have a lot of pieces in place, and I think there's a lot of good things. I think I'm done focusing on this immediate moment in the Rapids season and focusing on. I think it's great that you have Frazier locked in, right? I think it's great that you have a lot of really talented youngsters. There's no doubt that a lot of these young guys that they're relying on are very talented, and I think that's great. I think the Rapids, like I said earlier, I think the next 2 to 4 seasons are going to be awesome for the Rapids. I think there's going to be a ton to root for. It's just disappointing that having such a talented roster and having guys who have committed to the Rapids and committed to Colorado and re-signed and want to be here and are vets and have been in the MLS for a long time are putting up a performance like this, where you haven't run on the road all season. You're up 1-0. Okay, you conceded. Great. Okay, it's tied. Okay, you're now up a man. Go get your first road win. Go get it. What kind of attitude did you show today? It's disappointing. I think it's disappointing. It's not maddening. It's not infuriating. It's disappointing. It's disappointing that at this point, with that opportunity, that is the effort that you showed. I don't care who wasn't out there. You had your best 4 attackers who have been playing so well together. I thought the youngsters that you had to play were playing okay. I don't think they cost the game. I mean, I think Gus had some ugly turnovers. I think Priso was kind of lost at times, but you had enough pieces out there to go win this game and to go make a statement, and it wasn't there. And I don't know where to point the blame. I don't think you can point it at Frazier.
I want to say something real quick on Frazier. Don't blame Frazier because it's on the players out there.
It's on the players.
I hated the tactic of playing long ball. You don't have Danny Wilson or Jack Price, two of the best long ball players.
I don't know if that was his tactic. I really don't.
It felt like it was. It really felt like they just went back and there was no midfield passing. Maybe I could be wrong, but I think it's up to Frazier to say, hey, stop throwing it long. That's not working for us. Try to control the ball a little bit more, even if it's in your back line.
I think at this point you need to go find a holding midfielder, an MLS experienced midfielder, and you need to play Price and that person, and you need to focus on possession. You need to build possession. It's great when Barrios and Lewis are running those wings and getting open because they've done it, but it hasn't led to wins. And relying on outside wingers to carry you to a win in a hostile environment like Seattle is impossible. You're never going to continually find success if that's your MO. It's just not going to happen.
I just take a long ball. I think with Wilson out and Jack out, it worked last week because you had Wilson and Rubio were actually playing the ball like they should, and it just the long ball.
Maybe I'm just sad. Maybe I'm just bummed. Are Danny and Price enough to make this team a winning team on the road?
No, but it makes the tactic a little bit more feasible. It has nothing to do with the winning, but it makes that tactic at least make sense. At least you're okay.
We haven't played possession since before Pablo.
To me, Gus and Brian weren't the problems. Gus and
so
Brian
I'm not
weren't
sure
the
what that
problems
would
tonight.
even look like on the Rapids.
I don't blame Gus or Brian. They're not. I don't blame them. It has nothing to do with them. It's just annoying that they keep going to that long ball. Even like they should have just used the wings. If you can't get those long balls, then that's fine. They're not adjusted to that. That's not their game. I understand that. But why keep forcing it? Why keep playing that way when you don't have two of your best long ball passers? It works when they're in there because Danny Wilson is one of the best long ball passers in the MLS, and he plays great from the back. And it's okay. That's perfect. Jack Price has a beautiful ball too. Like that's amazing. But when they're not in there and you keep doing the same thing, and these players don't have the same talents as two of the best at that in the MLS, it's like why keep doing it? You're not getting it to Rubio, who's also really good at that and can help you. So it just makes no sense. It just didn't make any sense to me, at least with the winger.
Pull up Joseph comments there. We can maybe end it on this.
Yeah.
To answer your question, Joseph, I still think Blessing needs to be the target. Needs to be. Outside of that, I think Mendez in Orlando wouldn't be a terrible option. They haven't been great, and he's kind of fallen out of favor there. But I do think that's someone who can, I really think he can do that. He's up there in terms of progressive passing, getting past defenders. He ranks pretty high. I think that's definitely someone you could go after. Mimo down in Houston, I think is a decent target too. I don't necessarily think that's not necessarily Mendez did go to LA. Fine, you're right.
From Houston, those are the two guys I'd take in MLS.
Just go get.
There's going to be an odd man out in that starting lineup with Herrera there. So give me one of those two guys. I'll take them either.
My dog's pissed about this Rapids game.
I thought you were about to get the Coco. That's what
I want. Man, you're right. Mendez did go to LA. I hate everything. Everybody I've pointed at, everybody I've been like, man, the Rapids would fill their hole perfectly. It just comes out. Just go get Blessing, man. Just go get him. I can't believe it hasn't been announced yet. That's the thing. The thing so far is like,
go ahead.
In February, the Zardes move was obvious. It was like, go get it. And then it happened in April.
Yeah, mid-April.
And it's like, stop. Jesus. I'm gonna mute for a sec.
One play, if you really want to fix the Rapids right now, if you really, really want the Rapids to be fixed, just go get Dybala in a free transfer. He only wants $6 million. It's not that much. And I'm being sarcastic. You can't afford him for whatever reason, but it's just very annoying. This just pissed everybody off. I'm just gonna repeat this so Mitch knows. I said go get Dybala for a free transfer for $6 million wages.
Sure.
So that's my solution. You want my solution? Go buy an all-star team.
Should have got Lingard, man. Shouldn't have let him go to Forest.
They should have got him with Bale, Shalini, Insigne.
I don't know, man. Everybody. I don't know if it's an MLS. I don't know. I thought you could snag Marcelo Flores on loan. I can't believe. What is your relationship with Arsenal if you can't even get their loan out, guys?
We talked about it too. He would have been a great gap filler for Max or Galvano coming next season. So we talked about it and it just didn't work. So we just don't know anymore. We're upset. We're tired. We're mad at this game. Duane is wet and cold. We don't know what to do anymore.
I had to run inside. Sorry for that. It started getting real rainy out there. My light is still on. Hopefully, we'll see. Hopefully it survived.
We're just not pissed, guys. That's all it is. We're just mad. We're upset. We're upsetty in the spaghetti.
I don't know who to get. Every time I do this, I just go up and down the MLS rosters. I look at everybody and I'm like,
here's what I don't want.
It doesn't make sense.
I don't want any more old strikers who used to be good 3 years ago. That's a very Rapids thing to do.
Literally, last season's Artist was a half a goal a game. So everyone I think is overreacting to that part of it. I mean, he's been bad here, but that's if they go get a guy who was half
But
a goal a game.
He wasn't doing good this year, even before he.
Yeah, but he was buried. I just think if you go get another guy who was a half a goal a game last year, that's going to be an improvement from Max and Priso minutes. Not because they're not long-term pieces, but because you're not going to win right now. Like, that's fine if you go get a vet. This team needs vets. This team doesn't know where to put themselves in position to win. I want an older guy.
I don't want vets as strikers.
Yeah,
I just don't. I'm done with that experiment for the Rapids. I'm done with it.
I also
That's
don't
fair.
want Rubio as a striker either. I love Rubio in the 10. I think Rubio at the 10 has flourished, and he's become the player that we all wanted him to be. So I want him at the 10, and I know it's selfish. I love that false 9. I love what he does in that positioning, and I love what he can do in the midfield. When there's players supporting him and helping him out, he's unstoppable in that role. Scoring goals and creating. So I don't know anymore. It's upsetting.
We got to bring it up for B-Ray.
Man.
We just went from being the therapy for Rapids to this is the most depressing pod.
Yeah, here's the thing. You also have to convince them, like, I don't know. I'm one bad loss away from saying call up everybody, sell them off for parts, and
Mayaka.
sure.
I mean, are you gonna feel good about like
Mayaka weighs like 110 pounds soaking wet. But sure, throw him into.
Are you going to feel good about the Rapids selling off everything though, and then not bringing anything back in? Because
we did that
last year. We did that last year and didn't get anything in return.
But it was still this team's not going to be a 1 seed. That was a 1 seed. So if they do what they did last year and it turns into a 1 seed, let's go. Let's go. Yeah, sign me up.
Yeah, but we can't sell things from a 1 seed and still even stay in the playoffs. So if we're a team that's not in the playoffs and we sell off everything, then what shape are we going to be in?
Look, there's parts though, man. I think there's some good part. You look at next. I mean, I'm already excited about next year, and I'm already depressed about the end of the season. And that's a weird spot. But Galvan will be back, like B-Ray said. Keita will be at least an option on that back line. I do think Gus is the piece, and I'm stoked about that long term. I think if there was someone back there who was able to actually communicate, he would have had I think he would have even had a better game.
And in the offseason, don't expect. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I don't expect any flashy moves. I think they're gonna look at Galvan and Keita as their big additions in the offseason.
MLS people are saying, like national MLS guys are saying the Rapids are going to make some moves. Porig is saying he's going to make some moves. People around the Rapids are saying they're going to make some moves.
I believe it in this window. I just believe it in the offseason window.
Moves to make the team better, or moves just to make money off of what we have?
I don't know.
Because last year I feel like we just made
names.
money.
There's no real names. There's no real names out there. But if we're talking on Tuesday, August 2nd, I'm pretty sure it's a Tuesday game for the New York game. I'll be back with a tan. It'll be.
I was born with that.
That's true, but you'll be back with a sunburn, maybe.
Maybe.
It's gonna be. If there's no moves, then it's sad times. Like, you need to make a move, but you need to have clear plans in place by, I don't know, Wednesday. Like, what sign are you giving if not? Yo, Howie boy, straight up, Balotelli's not doing any. He's playing in like second division Turkey or somewhere, right? Am I crazy? Go get him.
Oh no, man! At this point, it's just like, I don't know.
All right, you know what? We've been at this for an hour.
At this point, we're trying to get through our feelings.
Look. Yahya is going on his honeymoon, so shout out and congrats once again to my guy. He's gonna go kick it in Cancun. He's gonna go be at the bar in the pool.
So well deserved, by the way.
So
Not
well
thinking
deserved.
about the Rapids at all.
From guys who see Yaya every day and work with him every day, like so happy for this guy. Just
Absolutely.
getting some time away with his bride and just being able to be a couple and enjoy the beach. Super pumped for you, dude.
So we'll probably have a show Tuesday, right before you leave. Do you want to do one before you leave?
We'll figure that out.
We'll figure it out.
We'll
man.
do all our dirty laundry off air.
I'm just trying to. I just want to
No,
let
you're
people
doing
know.
good,
I just want to let the people know.
Otherwise, you're stuck with me and Mitch.
Oh, it's gonna be it's gonna be a tough one next week, man. I
It's gonna
really
be
hope
me
we
and
have
Mitch.
stuff. I just hope we have stuff to
Dude,
talk about, man.
I'm telling you, it's going to be the first road win, and it's going to be all positivity in honor of Yaya. That's what it's going to be.
E-Ray, Tuesday's the blessing show. Bless my guy. Love it. All right, guys. That's gonna do it for me, for Yaya. Oh, that's not gonna do it.
One quick thing before we dip out. I
Okay.
do this every time. I want to say thank you for everybody who tuning in. It's a late night, a bad game. You guys killed it. Want to shout out Duane for that great
Cody,
graphic.
B-Ray,
I want to shout out Duane for that great graphic. He kills it every time. He does
JSPSAM, my guy.
So thanks all that. And then I want to shout out Mitch because he kills it on the socials. He kills it for us. He's a great host. And I just want to shout everybody out who makes this podcast possible. You guys are dope, including everybody that watches this. So you guys are the shit.
Give you a big fat kiss on your cheek next time I see you, buddy.
More than anything.
Guys, thank you so much. Like and subscribe, please. Thumbs up on the videos are a big help. Get your up the pid scarf. My guy Duane's wearing it right now. It really helps, and you guys are riding with us, and we really appreciate it, man. It's why we do this. So thank you so much. And more important than all that, and we say it every time and drop it in the chat, baby. Up the pids.